Right. In this class, we are going to discuss the longest poem in your syllabus, Big Match 1983 by Yasmin Gunaratna. In the previous discussion, we talked about the historical background for this poem. Today we are going to discuss it line by line, getting at the poet's idea about this ethnic violence that erupted in 1983. First of all, put numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 to all of your all of the stanzas in the text. Then it is easier for us to study. Number all stanzas, all verses in the poem. It will be easier for you to study. For example, glimpse in the headline is the stanza 1. Glimpse in the headline is stanza 1. And powerless this time, stanza 2, likewise. Okay. Now you can see the poem. You can go to your book. Now, Yasmin Gunaratna named this poem titled Big Match 1983. Now, this title is ironic. It does not really mean a big match between schools, but it really means ethnic violence. I gave you the word program as to, in our last discussion, program, PROGROM, ethnic violence or killing other people, other races by another race. Now, it is that idea which is included in this term, big match. Remember, therefore, this is not really a cricket match, but from that point of view, as if they played a cricket match, big match, they killed the other minority people, their brothers and sisters who lived together with them, right? That is racial hatred. Note down the word racial hatred. Vargika vaire, racial hatred. These killings were conducted out of racial hatred. Now, let's go to the first stanza. First one. Now, this stanza, the poet refers to this situation. situation of erupting violence, beginning the big match in the big match in Sri Lanka, especially in Colombo. Now, let's read that. Glimpsing the headlines in the newspapers. Glimpsing means reading or seeing. Reading the headlines of the newspapers. Now, those days, newspapers carried big headlines about this situation. Now, this greatly affected these newspaper headings. These newspaper headings greatly affected Sri Lankans as well as foreigners, tourists in Sri Lanka. Tourists scuttle for cover. Foreigners, tourist means foreigners, scuttle for cover means ran for protection, to protect their lives from these flames, from these killings. Some foreigners, tourists, cancel their options on rooms with the views of temple and holy mountain. Now, some tourists, they cancel their reservations, bookings in the hotels. From the hotel's windows, they can see temples, underline temple, holy mountain. Holy mountain is Sripada. Because from Colombo, from some hotels, room in Colombo, from some hotel rooms in Colombo hotels, you can see these iconic things in our country. Temple means religious places. Religious places. Holy mountain is also a religious place. Gunaratna uses these two as symbols. Temple and holy mountain, Buddhist temples and Hindu temples. Holy mountain, the Sripad. They all symbolize religious harmony, religious peace, goodness, kindness, compassion. Now, Gunaratna says this country is a mixture of religious harmony, religious compassion. There are three religions in this country, three major religions: Hinduism, Catholicism, Buddhism, not three, four, and Islam. Now, this country is a mixture of the goodness of those religions, teachings. But now what happens? It's no more compassionate, peaceful country. Peaceful country. Flashpoint in paradise. Now paradise. Paradise means island. Island is in fires. Island is in fires, burning, full of flames, flashpoint. Now they are the newspaper headings. Racial pot boils over. Racial pot is a metaphor. What is racial pot? Our country full of races. Now in our country, we find three major races: Sinhalese and Tamils, Muslims, Burghers, Malays. When we get together, our country is like a pot full of races. The writer compares, the poet compares our country to a pot full of many races. Now it's boiling over. Now these races are heated with racial hatred. Heated with racial hatred. වාර්ගික වෛරයෙන් මේක දැන් රත් වෙනවා. Now it's boiling over. You see how poetically Gunaratna presents this situation. Racial hatred is heating this pot. Now it's boiling over. Right? That's the idea. And even the gone away boy who had hoped to find lost roots, lost lovers, lost talent even, out among the palms, makes timely return to giving thanks that Toronto is quite romantic enough for his purposes. Gone away boy. Here, gone away boy represents people who live in other countries, but their motherland is Sri Lanka. But they work and live in other countries. Time to time, they return to Sri Lanka, looking for their ancestors, families, friends, who had hoped to find lost roots. Their roots. Roots means your identity, your national identity. I am a Sinhalese. My country is Sri Lanka. I am a Tamil. My country is Sri Lanka. I am a Muslim. My country is Sri Lanka. That is our root. This country is our root. Because our religion is here, our language is here, our friends and relations are here. This is our root. Now these people come looking for those. They are lost lovers, friends, lovers, lost talents even. Sometimes, as Sri Lankan, we have some speciality. We have some special talents. We are different from other people. Our cooking food is different. The way of eating is different. You understand? We have different knowledge specific to Sri Lanka. Different knowledge. They are talents. Now people come, our foreign brothers and sisters, they come to Sri Lanka looking for this. They also cancel their bookings and travelings out among the palms. Now here palms. Palm is another symbol here. Note down, right? The temple and holy mountain. What do the palms symbolize? Palm means in Jaffna, Palmyra trees. In Colombo and southern part of Sri Lanka, it is coconut tree. There are two iconic symbols, Palmyra, coconut. Palmyra symbolizes Tamils, coconut tree symbolizes Sinhalese. Now both Sinhala and Tamil boys, girls, They returned to Sri Lanka looking for their roots. And they also canceled their visitings because of these racial fires. They give thanks. Toronto. What is Toronto? Toronto is a city, Canadian city. It depicts Canada because Canada is symbolic of racial harmony. Because in Canada, there are many races from all over the countries. But they live together. They do not clash. They do not fight. They have different religions. They speak different languages. Their cultures are different. But still they live in harmony because there is one law. Everybody comes under that law and people respect that law. අන්න එක නීතියෙන් නිසා මේගොල්ලෝ බොහොම සතුටින් ඉන්නවා. Because law is impartial. Law is impartial. Law is common to all. Therefore, these people go back again to Toronto because Toronto is safe for living. It is romantic enough, good enough for his purpose, for his living. Sri Lanka is not good enough for living. Toronto is the best. Therefore, they go there. Therefore, they go there. Now here, in this first stanza, you can see how Yasmin Gunaratne gives a start by referring to the ongoing racial violence, ethnic violence in Sri Lanka. How outsiders saw it. Foreigners, foreign people, how they see it. How they see it. How they feel it. Right? Now, in this first stanza, Sri Lanka is presented as a place burning with racial hatred. Burning with racial hatred. Racial killings. Sri Lanka is like a racial pot boiling over. Racial pot boiling over. Now, that is the gruesome image, ugly image that we experienced in 1983. We saw it. You were not born then, but we as kids, we were also young boys, we also experienced this on TV. How people burn houses, how people burn people, killing people, looting their property, right? But not all Sinhalese, only a few members, a group of people supported by violent politicians, right? Now let's go to second stanza. Powerless this time. Now, our poet refers to this base root or foundation, the historical reasons for this situation. She examines what made our people full of racial hatred. Powerless this time. This time, common people are powerless to shelter or to share. Now, what is this? Now, these violent activities were conducted by not all Sinhalese, but some group of racists. We call them racists, Vargavadi. There are not much, not many, but a handful number of racists. But this time we, common people, are powerless to shelter, to give protection to Tamils, or even to share their tragedy. Therefore, we strive to be objective. Common people try to be objective, normal, to keep away from this violence. To keep away from this violence. We try to trace. We try to look for, trace means look for, the match fire. Match means here fire that lit this sacrificial fire, underline sacrificial fire. What is sacrificial fire? Is the racial violence. Sacrificial fire is racial violence, killing people. Now we try to look for match. You know match. That stick, match stick. What is the match stick that started this fire? What is the matchstick? And how step by step, how gradually we reach this ravaged place, how step by step we came to dangerous situation, ravaged. This uncivilized situation. One reason we talk of 1948. It is the year Sri Lanka gains political power from the British rulers. We call it freedom, but not really freedom. That is handing over political power. ඒක නිදහස නෙමෙයි. අපි නිදහස කියලා සැමරුවාට අපිට 48 වල දුන්නේ දේශපාලන බලය. අපේ රටේ මිනිසුන්ට. And they went away. We are not still free. අපි තාම නිදහස් නැහැ. Right? They went away. 48. The political power came into the hands of Sinhalese. The political power was not shared with Tamils and Muslims. This political power received from British rulers was not shared with other races. That is one reason. Not sharing the political power received from British rulers. Right? One reason for this racial violence, hatred. Another reason, according to the poet, 1956. 1956. In 1956, another harmful, impudent decision was taken by then Prime Minister. එවකට හිටිය අගමැති Mr. S.W.R.D. Bandaranaike on political reasons, on racial basis, he took a dangerous decision that harmed ethnic harmony. What is that dangerous decision? 56. Making Sinhala or Sinhala language the lingua franca. What is lingua franca? The state language, Rajya Bhasha. Now, overnight, this minister made Sinhala language the state language, forgetting Tamil. Even by then, there were many Tamil people living in the country. But he never thought of that. And Tamil politicians were unwilling. They did not like this decision. Even common Tamils, educated Tamils, they did not also like this decision, right? They had that their opposition in their mind. They came to street to protest, but some people provoked by the state politicians crushed them, hit them, right? First racial violence in Sri Lanka in 1956. Of freedom and the treacherous politics of language, underline, this is that decision. Treacherous, betraying, tyrannical, politics of language, governing countries on language basis, dividing people according to language. භාෂාව අනුව මිනිසු වෙන් කිරීම. භාෂාව අනුව මිනිසු පාලනය කිරීම. He started in 1956. Right? Now, in many developed countries, language is not considered. Language is not considered. භාෂාව පයිසෙකට ගණන් ගන්න අනිත් රටවල් වල. දියුණු රටවල් වල. They can speak any language. They can communicate with any language. දැන් අපේ රටේ ඉංග්‍රීසි වලට වඳින්නේ. අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි වලට වන්දනා කරමු. ඒ වගේ ආව මානසිකත්ව මට්ටමක් තියෙන slaves ලා ඉන්නේ ලංකාවේ. slaves ලා වහල්ලු. උන් ඉංග්‍රීසි වලටත් වඳිනවා. සිංහලයි සිංහල වලට වඳිනවා. දෙමළයි දෙමළ වලට වඳිනවා. No. Language is not that so. Language is medium of communication, and every language has uniqueness. Every language. No language is super or no language is inferior. All languages are similar. Now here, Sinhala is made a superior language. Tamil is made an inferior language. That is one reason. Then the other one, we see the first sparks. First spark means fire. Of this hate, of this hatred, fanned into flame, developed into a great fire. In 1958, 1958, another political decision was taken to change the name of Ceylon, Lanka, into Sri Lanka. Lanka into Sri Lanka. Lanka කියන නම ශ්‍රී ලංකා බවට පත් කළා. Adding letter Sri. letter Sri. වාහනත් ලියාපදිංචි කරන්න ගත්තා 1 ශ්‍රී 13යි 66 2 ශ්‍රී 25යි 31 ඔය වගේ ශ්‍රී අකුර. Tamils opposed this. Tamils opposed this. They came to street, but they were crushed. They were crushed. They were killed. The second reason. 1958 means introduction of letter Sri to the original name of Lanka, Sri Lanka, becoming it Sri Lanka. No more it is Ceylon. But yet we find no comfort. Still we have no comfort in our need solutions. We have various solutions to this problem, but no comfort, no calm abstraction, no peaceful notion or idea. Abstraction means notion or idea about this situation, or no absolution. We are not free from guiltiness. We are guilty. Guilty means wrong. We have no free sense. We have no sense free from guiltiness. We feel guilty, no absolution. We know we are wrong. It is in our heart. Now, in this stanza, Yasmin Gunaratna refers to the historical reasons, political reasons for this ethnic violence in 1983. 1983 is the climax according to that time, but it was not the climax. Later, young Tamils, they took arms, weapons into their hands to fight against these treacherous political decisions. They grouped into militia, and they took weapons and they started the war. 30 years that war lived in this country, killing, destroying property, killing people, destroying property. Right. Now, you have some understanding, may have some understanding about these two stanzas. In our next session, we'll discuss the other remaining stanzas of the poem, the remaining stanzas of the